Friendly reminder, tomorrow you do have a test, all 25 questions. Make sure you're ready for that as we kind of go forward. Please make sure your focus, your primary, and your map, they're all due at 8:30 tomorrow morning, so please make sure that is also ready to go. I already have a bunch of maps and primary, so if you haven't turned yours in, please make sure you have done so. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is known, who was the European traveler from Italy who is going to see Kublai Khan? Good. Dawson. Marco Polo. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the massive empire that will facilitate West African trade? Your boy, APM WK, is going to spend a lot of time here. Katie. There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is, please tell me what place will be an Islamic capital for learning. And it has one of the larger mosques. What is it, Brady? Timbuktu. All right, here we go. So, I do want to show you a couple of things. This is your test for tomorrow. Okay, this is your test. Okay, you got a nice chart. You haven't really seen a lot of charts. Oh, there's a second chart. We got a nice primary source. We got a picture and a primary. We got a nice map and a primary. Oh, we got a bunch of pictures. So, I'm telling you, tomorrow's test is going to be one of the most diverse of your stimuluses. Yes? So, you really need to sit down and kind of think about what the information is trying to tell you. Yes? Unfortunately, you cannot mark up my test. However, you do need to stop and kind of process that information, okay? The biggest thing that I could tell you is you need to understand how we're at the very end of a unit. So when we're talking about cultural consequences, you need to think a little bit bigger than just this explicit week. Is everyone clear with that? So I'm going to cover a couple things. I went through my test today to make sure I'm harping on a couple of things today. But make sure you're able to make some connections to things, prior information that we're going to review a little bit today. Is everyone clear on that? All right, here we go. So, cultural consequences is your heading. Cultural consequences. First thing's technology. Gunpowder! Dun, dun, dun! What do you got, Benjamin?
What technology or any consequences is in the bad
That's
thing?
like your heading.
Like, I mean, are you saying like a bad thing or like just
No. There's consequences of all technology. Like, for instance, your social media. How wonderful is it we're connected to people? Yes? However, how awful is it that we're connected to people? Right? Now knowing all of your family's inner thoughts of how racist they are, isn't that terrible? Oh, no, you don't have that problem in your family? My older uncle. Whew. Anyway, hello. Maybe too much information. We'll stick with Hank's Student of the Month. We'll stick with that positive. Got it. All right, gunpowder. You need to know it is discovered in China. And it will be spread by the Mongols. Yes, because the Mongols are going to use it as a weapon. As we know, they embrace the local technology and then go ahead and use it. So gunpowder is going to be both a positive and a negative. Okay? You also need to be aware of paper, specifically for paper currency. Now, paper currency and books. So week 7, so next week we're doing essays. Week 7 we pick back up on content and we are doing the Protestant Reformation, which is the first time information goes essentially viral for the first time. Everyone's reading, more people are reading, there's printing, Gutenberg's printing press, all that stuff. We can't get that information, we can't have that technology unless it spreads from China. So you do need to know that we're also doing the gunpowder empires on week 7, so we'll see that. Champa rice you should acknowledge. I'm not going to cover it, like you people know. It's from Vietnam. Leads to a population boom, which allows China to thrive. Okay. You do need to know math from India is going to be spread by the Muslims. Okay, that is a huge thing. Specifically the number 0 from the Gupta. What do you got, Benjamin?
was paper from China?
Yeah, paper is from China, and they're going to use it for currency and books. Those are the two big things you need to know about them. Okay. All right. So that is your spread of technology. Be aware of those. That's going to have a huge impact as we kind of go. So growth of cities. You need to know growth of cities is going to create political stability because money is coming in. Governments are much more stable when they're wealthy. Can we agree? They have money to throw at problems. People are happier. There's less turmoil when people have money in their pockets. Okay, so the more money, the happier populations are. Okay, we also have greater, large labor supplies. So more people are working. So we have less people without jobs or without opportunities, really, because not everyone has a job. Some people are just working on their own farms, working on their own products, but everyone has the opportunity to participate in the economy, which is a big thing. When we get to the Industrial Revolution, that's when we actually start having jobs where people leave their house from 9 to 5 and do things. That will be a transition. Perfect. So the biggest thing is political stability. All right. So religion. Okay. Islam, Africa, Indian Ocean Basin. Okay. You do need to know in South Asia, you do need to know that Islam is going to attract lower castes and Buddhists. So in South Asia, to be attracted to Islam, you're going to have your lowest caste members. What's a caste? Just a reminder here, John.
It's a social hierarchy.
Yeah. Is it oppressive or pretty flexible?
Oppressive.
It's very oppressive. It's the most rigid one in the world. Everything about your life is dictated. Your clothes, where you live, what job you have, the names of your kids to a degree. Okay? It's very oppressive. So, obviously the lower members of the caste are going to be the most attracted to leaving the religion, because once you leave the religion, you're no longer in the caste. And Buddhists, who are kind of disillusioned. Buddhists are going to start kind of turning their back on it in some parts of South Asia just because of how much war and conflict they're facing. They're going to turn their back on Buddhism and be attracted to Islam because of the war and all that stuff, and the suffering and all that stuff. Okay, you do need to know the Bhakti movement is going to connect Buddhism and Islam. It's going to be a blended religion. Who can tell me that fancy word for blended? Amelia? Syncretic. It is going to be a blended or syncretic religion. Okay, you need to put like a nice little star. Muslim architecture and design will be located throughout the Indian Ocean Basin and Africa. Why? Because they're all everywhere. Yes. Islam is going to be super popular. And Muslim architecture and design is going to be found in the Indian Ocean Basin. So that includes Southeast Asia, South Asia, East Africa, okay, and all throughout Africa. What do you got, Benjamin?
What do you say the Bhakti movement was?
Right here, Don.
It just blends Hinduism.
Blends Hinduism and Islam. It's a syncretic religion. It makes it easier.
In different places where South Asia, Southeast Asia, Middle East. Is it Middle East?
No, Middle East. Well, you're going to have it in the Middle East because that's where the religion comes from, so you should immediately default, but this is where we're now starting to see it. Indian Ocean Basin, Indian Ocean Basin includes Southeast Asia, South Asia, East Africa, and we of course know Islam is very popular on the Trans-Saharan route, so we know it's in West Africa as well. All right, Buddhism! Where is Buddhism from? When in doubt, it's all religion huge continent with like 5 different subgroups. So, nope. What do you got, Matt?
South Asia.
South Asia. South Asia. It is originally from South Asia. It is going to spread to East Asia, specifically China, Korea, and Vietnam. Okay, and they are going to find it's going to be attractive to the lower tiers. Why are lower social structures turning their back on Confucianism? Think about it logically. Why are the poor people starting to reject Confucianism? Alex?
Because it's pro-government.
It's pro-government, and do poor people benefit from the government that much? No, absolutely not. And let's be honest, do governments really favor poor people? No, they don't. So the poor people are going to start turning their back on it. That's an important connection that you should be writing down, is that the poor are going to start rejecting Confucianism because it's pro-government, just like Alex said. And the poor are usually the first ones to be shunned by the government or ignored by the government. All right, Alice? Okay. You got it? All right. So, Buddhism and Hinduism are going to spread to Southeast Asia, and they're going to start mixing. So that is a huge thing. How are all these things spreading, people? Trade. Okay? So, a perfect example of the spread of Buddhism and Islam is going to be the Khmer Empire. Okay? They're the ones who are really going to embrace Buddhism, specifically. What do you got?
Wait, so is it Buddhism and Hinduism?
It's going to kind of blend a little bit. Both of them are getting exported out of South Asia. Khmer is going to really embrace Buddhism specifically. Sorry, thank you for asking that question so I can clarify. Thank you. So the Khmer would be a perfect example of the spread of Buddhism outside of South Asia, and they're really, really going to embrace it. All right. Effects of trade. That's your next subheading. Woo! What do you got, Benjamin?
Did you say Buddhism and Hinduism blend?
They are going to blend, yeah. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's do some boards. That was a lot of information right there, wasn't it? Let's do some boards. How fun. On your whiteboard, please tell me. What is the name of the movement that is going to connect Hinduism and Islam? Yeah, good. Ben, on your whiteboard, please tell me what religion is going to be spread via trade and find more architecture based upon it around the world. Good. What is it? Sydney? Islam. There will be Buddhist temples around, but they're not that prevalent. The Buddhist design style is actually pretty complicated, and they do the wheel, they have all these other things. It's actually pretty complicated. You're not going to see a ton of it. Islam, however, is all about calligraphy. It's all about geocentric patterns. It's all about these beautiful archways. That is going to spread throughout the whole world at this point, so please keep that in mind. Matt, start wasting my ink. On your whiteboard, please tell me, Buddhism will spread specifically to what 3 parts of East Asia? Good. What do we got? Victoria. There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me what technology is going to lead to a population boom in China? Oh, come on. It was like the go-to answer for the longest time. Max.
Me?
Yeah?
Bananas?
Oh, sorry. No. Sorry. Amelia. Yeah, Champa rice. On your whiteboard. Sorry, man. I thought you had it. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what are the 2 major inventions the Mongols are going to spread from China to the rest of the world? It's going to have a huge impact, specifically on Europe, by the way. Good. What do we got? Macy. And what? No, that's not really an invention, girl. What is it? On. Gunpowder and paper, ladies and gentlemen. Gunpowder and paper. Those are the two major inventions that are coming out of China that are going to be facilitated by the Mongols to spread the world. And that is going to be a huge deal. Yes, ma'am.
For the God movement, so I remember that it's like a vocab word, but it says something like how it meant to have like a deep connection with like one God. So is that like
It's going to lean more on Islam than it is going to do on Hinduism. But it's a nice syncretic thing, and so it's just kind of the exposure that you just know of it. Yeah, no, it's just like you just need to know it's a syncretic religion, because you'll see an essay next week about religions and the movement of them, and that would be like an example. We're also going to have Sikhism, which is going to come out of India as well, which is going to blend the two as well. So, on your whiteboard, please tell me political stability will benefit cities. True, false? Good. The answer is what, Elise? True. On your whiteboard, please tell me what, give me 3 subregions in the Indian Ocean basin. Good. What do we got, Ben?
East Africa, Southeast Asia, South Asia.
There you go. Those are the 3 big ones. Of course, East Asia does participate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know your regions at this point, you have to sit down and memorize it. Can we agree? It's only going to become more important. Benjamin.
We can say South Asia too, right?
Yeah, of course. South Asia.
West Asia? Or
Southwest is typically the Middle East, so they are trading for sure. Yeah, there's a total of 5 major regions that are playing in the game. East Africa, Middle East, South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia. Do you want to write that down to make sure you know? Indian Ocean Basin, East Asia, Southwest Asia, South Asia, Middle East, East Africa. East Asia, Southwest Asia, South Asia, Middle East, also known as Southwest, yes. And then you have East Africa. All right. On your whiteboard, please tell me. And who is going to be the most attracted? What religion is going to pull the most people from China? It's Confucianism. Good. Elise. Buddhism. On your whiteboard, please tell me what religion is going to pull the most Hindus? Good. What is it, Alex? Islam. Buddhism is number 2, but Islam is going to pull more people. Okay? Islam is going to pull more South Asians because of the trading boom and all that stuff. Buddhism is popular, but it's not nearly as popular as Islam. We get that, yeah? All right. Here we go. Black Plague. Let's do environmental consequences. Environment consequences.
That's under effects of trade.
Yep, it's all under effects of trade. Black Plague! Are we not excited? Guys, we're gonna kill like 25 million people right now.
I don't know if that's something to be happy about.
Why? We're in a pandemic and we're learning about a pandemic. Isn't that exciting? Less people have died in our pandemic, so that's a banger.
So far.
So far, I like where your head's at. Yeah, because we have the Mu variant, which rejects vaccines. So here we are. Oh, okay. We'll move forward then. Here we go. It is starting in East Asia, ladies and gentlemen. It starts in China. Okay. in China. That's actually not true. One of them started in Europe, so let's not be super judgy here. But why is Asia going to have a lot of pandemics come out of there? Why, Victoria? Okay, no, I mean, population density does play a role with it, but what is happening in East Asia that is not happening pretty much anywhere else in the world, specifically at this point? Even today, there's a huge component of it. The populations are mixing at a much faster rate in East Asia. The blending of different cultures and interactions is happening at a much faster rate. Still today in China, we have tons of people from all different backgrounds mixing in Asia. So that is why a few of our pandemics are going to come out of China. Okay? Someone said to me the other day, it's because they're dirty. No, they are not. They have different culture, but no, it's because the different populations are mixing at a much higher rate, especially at this point. Can we agree? The whole center of the world trading is China. So we have all these people going to China to get goods, all these people are sailing to China to get goods, and that's why we're having a huge mix. You need to know that 25 million people are going to die in China. Not in China, in Europe. We don't know the count in Europe, in China. Why don't we know the count? Think about it logically. When is this happening and why don't we have a count? It makes logical sense. Victoria? No. The Chinese have a writing system? Why, Dawson? It's the Mongols. Why is that the answer? Yeah, they don't care about how many people die. The Mongols, have they ever cared? No, they literally killed more people than any other rising empire in the world. Up until World War II. There you go. But you're going to see it's the Mongols. They don't keep track of how many Chinese people are killed. Why? Why, Amelia? Not Amelia. Abby.
They don't like the Chinese.
Yeah, they don't like the Chinese, so it kind of works. Now, does it also kill a bunch of Mongols? Of course. Okay, so in Europe, let's talk about the impact. Okay, we happen to have a lot more statistics on Europe because it's a slow evolution of it. You can see it coming, just like we were watching the pandemic come a year and a half ago, yes? We started seeing cases around the world start showing up, and we slowly started seeing it here in the United States. The Europeans are watching it coming as well. We are going to see that it is going to wipe out your peasants and serfs. This will be the catalyst for our first workers' protest. Yes! Even though it's not organized, so it's not really a protest, but it is going to really wipe out the peasants and the serfs. Why? Why, Max?
Because they're like all grouped together, they don't have enough money to be in.
There you go. So like the popes during this time used to just isolate themselves with like 10 other staff in castles. And food used to be brought to their door and had no interaction. That's how they lived during this time period. Do you think poor people have that? No, absolutely not. So the poor people are going to be wiped out. Your kings and your lords and stuff like that are going to get exposed to, and they're going to be killed off as well. It's not just station-based, but they have more money to separate and spread themselves out, yes? So that makes more sense. It would affect the poorer populations. So with a large amount of death of the workers, okay, the people actually farming, they then turn around and demand pay. What government system are we currently in Europe? John?
Yeah,
Feudalism. Guess what does not happen in feudalism, John?
people getting paid.
People getting paid does not happen. Remember, feudalism is an exchange, right? Obligation in exchange. The serfs and the peasants get protection in exchange for farming, yes? So there's no money. Well, now everyone needs serfs and peasants, and there's no serfs and peasants to do the work, and they're like, hey, I'm super valuable right now. Screw it. You want me? You pay me. And what are people going to start doing? Same thing's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Restaurant workers, me, okay? This is a huge moment in history. We've wanted $15 per hour for a very long time because you can't live on $7.25 an hour. It's ridiculous. Okay? Pandemic hits, everything shuts down. People are slow to go back to work. Why? Because you can make money doing pretty much anything else. Okay? So now we are demanding to get paid $15 an hour. And guess what's happening? We are! are. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, it's a good thing. Now, for me, I haven't really worked in a while, so it's kind of, a mute point. But for my peers in the industry, it's a huge deal. Now we can pay our actual bills. By the way, a tipping wage in Florida is $2.25. Because I collect tips, I get paid $2.25 an hour. Anyway, Benjamin, you're supporting our demand of $15 an hour.
Oh, I get paid $6 an hour. But you said it
The
was,
national average is
you said
$7.25.
it was a catalyst for what?
It's catalyst for workers to improve their station. Okay, so you need to know that economic output is going to decline in Europe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is there a ton going on in Europe at this point? No. Right before the plague hit, they were starting to become trading more. They're starting to interact with the rest of the world. The bubonic plague is going to hit and it's going to shut them down for another 200 years. Okay. So you do need to know European cities are declining. Why? Hello? Why?
Because of the plague.
Yeah, because of the plague. It's just like New York City right now. What's happening to New York?
Shutting down.
It's shutting down. And have you noticed how many kids we have from New York State at the moment? Okay, we got tons and tons of kids from New York State. Okay, so you need to understand that feudalism is going to end because of the Black Plague. Okay, feudalism is based on rights and obligations. It is not based on pay. So when the workers start demanding pay, things have to change. Oh my God, it's so fun teaching a pandemic in a pandemic. Well, I'm proud of the restaurant industry. It needed to change. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is everyone in Europe going to recover? Yes. Next week, starting in week 7, we start the Age of Exploration. And who is going to rise and take over the whole damn world? Europe. Okay, so they're coming. All right. Environmental impact. Okay, environmental food-wise. Migration of crops. Okay. So, what is going to happen? We obviously have champa rice. It's going to start in Vietnam and spread to China, Japan, and all those places. So, please make sure you're aware of that. Champa rice is going to start in Vietnam and then spread through East Asia. Okay. Bananas are going to leave Southeast Asia and go to Africa, which is going to cause a population boom. So there are some records that say champa rice was in India before it was in China, so we're not sure if it started there or where, but everyone embraces it so quickly, it's hard to track exactly where it starts. Okay, you do need to know cotton, sugar, and citrus fruits are going to be coming from the Middle East. Okay, and those are going to start spreading everywhere, and everyone's going to start getting a taste for sugar, which is going to lead to the most important crop coming out of the Americas, which will be sugar cane. So all these European countries want to cash in on this whole new crop called sugar, and they are going to build massive slave-holding plantations that grow sugar. What do you got?
So, is it sugar that's like today? Is it like kind of artificial? It's like cane sugar is like.
Cane sugar, you're talking about like when you go to like Jamaica and something, you
Yeah.
like suck on it?
Is it like that was like the only thing at the time, right?
No, the only thing Europe had pre like sugar cane is going to be honey. So everything was flavored with honey until sugar. Sugar is going to be incredibly expensive, and pretty much only the king and the lords and nobles have it every once in a while. It's not until we have the Americas and specifically Brazil that we're gonna have mass produced. So the sugar cane, anyone here ever had a stalk of sugar cane? Like you go to some tropical place and they have it. What it is it looks like bamboo. They cut it. It's actually really hard, and you can like sit there and like chew on the stalks of it. Well, what happens if you're gonna mass produce sugar, which we're really gonna talk about when we get to Brazil? What they do is they grind it up and they press it. They press it, and it's like a watery substance, and they let it dry in the sun, and then when it dries, that's what we have, the white sugar that you're used to. So it is coming from sugar cane. It's just dried completely throughout. Yeah, just like what we used to do with salt. If you wanted to make salt flats and stuff like that, you would flood it with salt water and let the salt water, and then you'd be left with the salt. Same thing that's happening there. So we have to press it out. It's very labor intensive, which is why they're using slaves. Yes.
So they just crush the cane
Yeah.
There was like nothing inside of it.
No, it's just like a watery kind of
I
thing.
always thought there was something inside of it.
No. Have you ever had sugar cane? It's not that sweet. It's sweet, but it's not like you can buy sticks of it at like Publix because people use them in cocktails. And stuff like that. Like they're really popular. Next time your parents order a mojito, you can try the sugar cane. It usually comes with a sugar cane if they're at like a decent restaurant. And stuff like that. It's just sort of like you just sit there and you can gnaw on it. It's kind of sweet, but it's because that water is kind of pressed out of it and it takes a ton of work, and that's what slaves were for because it was so manual intense. That is going to be essentially concentrated into the flax, and that's what makes our white sugar. Also rum, which is why rum isn't going to be a thing until the Americas, because to make rum, it's all distilled sugar sitting in water, and that's how you make rum, and that's why it's not really a thing yet. We don't have it until the Americas because it takes a lot of sugar to make rum, and we don't have that type of production. But once we get Brazil up and going, which will be the largest producer of sugarcane in the world, also the largest purchaser of slaves in the world, that's when we start having rum, which will be the most popular drink in the world. Anyway, okay, good talk, good talk. You people look so miserable. Why?
It's 'cause it's second period.
But you kind of look miserable every day.
'Cause it's second period every day when we get here.
Tuesday.
It is only Tuesday, but tomorrow's my favorite day of the week, so I'm pretty stoked. Thank you, Brady, for speaking on behalf of your peers. All right, environmental. Here we go, environmental. People are gonna overgraze. What does overgrazing mean? What do you got? What do you got for me, Matt?
It's like when animals
Mhm.
and when they're eating too much grass and they like destroy the environment, I guess.
There you go. They eat all the grass, ladies and gentlemen, which means they don't have enough food for themselves, and they're going to cause soil erosion issues as well. So there has to be a balance between how much you take and how much you put back. Yes? Okay? We're kind of aware of this because of like climate change and all that stuff. Yes, if we cut down all the rainforest, then all of a sudden we're going to have less trees producing oxygen. Yes, we have large scale. But these are small scale problems that we're seeing. Overgrazing, deforestation, and soil erosion. These are on a smaller scale than what we're dealing with here in 2021, yes? Okay, so overgrazing is going to cause herds to die out. That is important for you to understand. So your large beasts of burden are gonna die out. Your food producing, like pigs and cows and stuff like that, are also gonna die out. And that causes, obviously, a decrease in population because there's less food. So this is a big deal. Deforestation is literally cutting down trees. In case you didn't know it, it's the cutting down of trees, and it is going to cause soil erosion. Soil erosion is when it rains, the soil washes away, and there's a hole. We've all seen it somewhere in South Tampa, yes? Hello? I mean, South Tampa's getting better about it. It is going to destroy arable land, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to destroy arable land. We're going to see this as a huge problem in Europe, which is why in the 1700s, so many people in Europe are going to go to the Americas because the farmland has been ruined in Europe, and the farmland out west in the United States has not. Which is why, have you ever wondered why there's a ton of Scottish people in North Carolina? Do you people leave Tampa?
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why there's huge enclaves of like a random European population in places? Like Ohio is full of German people. Like huge German population, which is great because the beer, delicious. Okay, so with that, oh, and they have the best German food out there because my best friend lives in Ohio. They're going to leave Germany because of deforestation and soil erosion is going to eradicate some of the most the best farmland, which is why when Hitler comes into power, the first thing he's going to conquer is the breadbasket of France. The best farmland in France. That's where he's going to go after right away. Okay, so these are huge issues that are going to cause plenty of geopolitical problems. Alright. And of course, don't forget the plague. Plague is an environmental consequence. It's going to cause a ton of death, degradation, all that stuff. You also need to know little ice age. Little ice age is going to happen. Let me look at my specific date, if you will. Don't mind me.
How does that happen? Does it just like get cold?
It does get cold. So the science is beyond me because I'm a dum-dum. Does that make sense? And science isn't my thing. So it does happen. The Earth used to warm and kind of cool naturally on its own, and this is what people like my dad say is the reason why climate change is fake. So yeah. It's going to be the 1300s is when we're going to have the ice age, little ice age, and that is happening around the same time we have the plague, ladies and gentlemen. So is this going to make the plague easier or worse? It's worse. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if the little ice age, okay, what is the impact of a little ice age? What is it going to do? What is it going to do, Dawson? Huh? It's going to slow down trade a little bit, but mostly it's going to do what, Ben? Hi, why are populations lowering, Matt? Farming, yes, ladies and gentlemen. If it doesn't get hot enough, the crops won't grow. Yes, if it's cold all the time, there's not a ton of crops. So without food, you're gonna get weak, and then all of a sudden a plague comes by. Hell, you're weak. Don't have enough nutrients. You're definitely gonna get wiped out. See ya. Test tomorrow. Have fun.
Nuggets are horrible, Abby. Fix that. I work the drive-thru. Shut up.
Abby, I'm a huge fan of your work. Huge fan.
Look out!
The
Look out for my
milkshakes
bag.
are the best.
Where?
Oh my gosh! Don't drink them. They're so nasty.
With the doctor.
Abby, where do you work? You look like birds.
Yeah, if you look like birds, because
I'm so glad I'm not working today because it's free ice cream day at Chilbros. I work at Ybor City.
Don't drink the milkshakes.
No?
But they're soft.